This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Hey everybody!
Good evening, all, and welcome back to another week of movie chats. I apologise if my signal is bouncing around this evening. It is blowing a gale outside, and it's causing mayhem with everything. How's your week been, Steve?
It's not been too bad. I've been at work. First day off today, so just getting back to some sort of normality, I think. Let's try again. Hope everybody's well.
Yeah. No, let's see if we got in the chat so far. Then we've got Anthony. Thank you for joining us, matey. Yeah, not bad movies. Not bad movies at all, mate. We've got Kevin Hawthorne all the way from Florida. Hope you're having better weather than we are, mate.
I wish I was over there.
Sharon, Gareth, Caro. Yeah. Well, welcome to Movie Chats, guys. Hope you're doing all right. Good evening. So on this week's show, we'll be looking at Christopher Lee. We have got Batman to have a look at today, the 1989 Batman. Hence
see what you've done there. I can see it.
This Friday, these two have come to join me this evening. I'm doing a Gareth. And thank you very much for everyone's support on the channel. We have hit I was going to say major milestone there, but it's a big milestone. It's the big 400 subscribers for the channel. It's took us a while to get there, but thank you everyone that stuck with us. We must be doing something great because we are slowly growing. We'd like to get to that 1,000 mark by the end of the year. We're a long way off, but just stick with us. I'm sure we'll.
Now we hit 400. It's just going to go in. It's just going to.
Yeah, we just need we just need one video. We just need one video to go viral. Someone falling off the chair.
Shut up, you. I'm not doing that stunt again.
I'll have to dig that out, I reckon, and have that on the show sometime, just to throw in randomly.
Which one are you talking about there, mate?
If you did, Steve, you'll go far. I don't weigh that much now, you know. It's not me weighing him down this time, you know. Right, so shall we jump into our featured actor?
Yeah, go for it.
So this week's featured actor is Christopher Lee. Now, I am surprised of how many films A, he's been in, and B, I've never seen.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, he was going from what, like the 50s onwards? You know, so he's got a massive catalogue. I mean, he was in a lot of TV programs as well. I was looking at, he did a lot of voiceovers for games as well, which was pretty cool. But I'm in the same vein. I mean, I've walked into so many CEXs and seen the different Draculas, and never got around to sort of picking them up.
Yeah.
But by the sounds of it, that was one of his favorite things that he did. It was like the sort of Hammer horror Dracula, wasn't it?
Yeah. Evening, Neil.
Hey, Neil. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've wrote 8 movies down here.
You've done better than me then, and yeah. Is that including sequels?
Well, that's including 2
franchises.
Franchises. No, I don't know. I think the beauty of doing this actor wheel is that it sort of highlights my naivety of movies, of the movie world. I do this channel. I talk to people. I know a lot about movies and know a lot about TV shows, etc. But I think this just highlights how little of a wider universe that I am actually aware of. I'm in awe of people that know a lot about all these older actors.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that we all have busy lives nowadays, don't we? So this sort of thing for me is, we sort of spend a lot of time. We talk to other collaborate with other people as well, and it's really interesting because sometimes whether it's the chat, whether it's the people that we've got on the show, it highlights movies that we sort of then go back and watch and sort of really enjoy. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. One of the things that one of the reasons why I'm such an avid collector of films is because it's very much like listening to music. There's something out there that's the best music you've ever heard, but you've never heard it yet. Do you know what I mean? There's always that thing where there's this particular film, that I might think is the best film that's ever been made, in my opinion, but I've never seen it. So it always opens it up to, although I've got a list of say 5 or 10 movies that are special to me in different ways, there is ultimately that perfect movie that I have never seen. And that's the sort of hunt for trying to find them, really. That's why this sort of stuff I really enjoy, is because we're not always experts at everything.
No, well, Gareth just put one in the chat there, The Devil Rides Out. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it. You've just seen me there, and I've just wrote that down. And that's the beauty of this show. I've watched so many films on recommendation.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Most of Joanne Noble's have been awful. I have watched them, and and there's been a couple there that I haven't got, and it wasn't my intention to give Peter such a hard ride over the one that we watched of his the other week that came up on the wheel, but I just didn't understand it.
Well, thank you guys. Go on, sorry, I'm listening.
So yeah, it's it. So I'm in gratitude of everyone's sort of recommendations of these films. Now, going back to Christopher Lee, I think this is where this conversation sort of fits in brilliantly, because my 3 mentions, I've got Alice in Wonderland, the new one, the 2010 one, because he was in that, Gremlins 2 and The Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
Right? But then my top 4, because I said that I've wrote these down, I've got The Man with the Golden Gun, James Bond.
I'm sure we work on a top 5, don't we?
We do, but then again, I've got 2 franchises here where we was in 3 films.
There you are, just making the rules up again.
Yeah, so just call me Chris Hayden. We're a trilogy council. So we've got the Man with the Golden Gun. We've got Sleepy Hollow. I love Sleepy Hollow. I think that's an awesome film. I'm glad they never ruined it with a sequel. I wasn't a big fan of the Sleepy Hollow series recently, but the movie, the Johnny Depp movie, is really, really good. And then obviously I've got Lord of the Rings, and I've got Star Wars episodes 1 to 3, the prequels.
Right, okay.
So yeah, there's a top 10.
Oh, it's a top 10 now.
Well, if you're breaking them down in that math, yeah. If not, it's a top 4 with 2 big hitting franchises.
Right. Okay, I get it now.
What are you looking for now? Are you looking for Sleepy Hollow?
No, I'm not looking for Sleepy Hollow. It's really going to bug me now. So is that your list then? Is it?
That's my list. But like I say though, I have seen Gareth's put there the original Wicker Man. Yes, I've seen it. I enjoyed it. I just can't I just can't picture it to talk about it. If you see, I know I've watched the original one because I have to watch it. I had to watch the original one to compare it with the new one, and I know the original one is better, but then I've wiped the new one out my mind as well.
Thank you, mate. All right, but it's quite apt to what we're talking about. So,
It's all right. You can have your mug that says that, mate, but I've got this.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, similar sort of thing with obviously the Star Wars ones. I did like him in them. I much preferred him in the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship, as Sauron. But then it's The Man with the Golden Gun. Great film, that. My number one, without a doubt, is Wicker Man. I love that film. It is such a weird, trippy film. There's one called The Wicker Tree I've not watched yet, which I've had for ages. Which he's actually in he's actually stars it. Or he's in as the old guy. It says on the credits. The Nicolas Cage one was terrible, but it's such a great, weird, twisty movie, that The Wicker Man. That for me is his favorite film. My favorite film of his.
I didn't know. No, I didn't say I preferred the new one to the old one, Coral. That's not what I said. What I said is that I had to watch the old one to compare it to the new one. I do prefer the old one but I can't remember the films well enough to have an opinion on them. Yeah, Lindsay, I hope you enjoy meeting up with Chris and Belle over the weekend. They are a great couple. They are definitely worth meeting up with.
They're worth it.
Yeah, they are worth it. They are worth it. Belle is anyway. Chris isn't. He's all show. It's all good fun. Yeah, so I don't know, mate. Like I say, I sort of dread when I look at some of those names on that wheel. I do dread them coming up because I know I haven't, and I should really start paying attention to them. Hey, AJ.
Oh my God. Yeah, like I say, I mean, he is one of those actors where he's got so many different movies. No, that's it. You said. hey, AJ. But he was such a distinguished actor, wasn't he? You know, I'd love to try and catch one of the Draculas. I think because the fact that he loved it so much, I think that's probably a good performance for him.
Yeah. I know. I'm still waiting for it. Do you know that it occurred to me during this week? He went to ask me a question at the end of one of the shows the other week and never actually asked a question, did he? So it still bugs me now about what question he was going to ask. Because he was dead sheepish about asking it, wasn't he? Coro.
You two are very naughty. Hey, Chris gives as good as he gets. Do not let him fool you with his innocent persona. That guy gives as good as he gets, I promise you. He's but they're good friends of ours, and so lucky to have them as mates. But enjoy yourselves anyway. It's I would say the weather's probably going to be nice, but it's probably not.
Judging by what I'm hearing outside, and this is just the start of it, because we've had the weather warnings for this week.
It's been terrible today. It's been really bad today.
Yeah, we've had the weather warnings through work. It's only going to get worse over the weekend. So, right. So I think we have done Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Let's move on to this one, shall we? The homework movie of 1989's Batman movie.
Now, did you watch it, Steve?
I did. Yes, I have watched
it. Sure?
Yes. I have got it here, actually, somewhere down here. Where have I put it? No, where have I put it?
Do you know what I realised though? It's one of the ones I need to. I don't know actually. I was contemplating after last week's show, picking it up in 4K because I've got the Batman Returns. Is probably one of my favourites. So I've got that in 4K. Having saying that, watching it on Blu-ray on it, the thing is the first time I've watched the Blu-ray of it. The picture quality is really good, but then it stands out a mile. Some of the sort of not CGI, but the early special effects.
Yeah.
When they're added the buildings and even the balloons towards the end, you can proper tell that it was bad graphics.
I'm not as posh as you. I just watched it on normal Blu-ray. Oh shit! What have I just broke here now?
Well, like I say, that's what I watched it on. Is on normal Blu-ray. But the thing is that I don't know how much different it's going to be if I bought it on 4K. But the Batman Returns, that was one I bought in a deal a few months back.
I'm going to stop
playing.
playing.
Can you? I bet it's downstairs in your player.
No, I'm sure I had it here. I'm sure I brought it back up. Anyway, I have watched it. Right? And because Lana was like, what are you watching it for? You've watched it 50 million times. And I'm like, yeah, but there's going to be 50 million and one. And it might be something slightly different this time round, you know. But no, I absolutely loved it. However, it did occur to me that Vicky Vale's just a money-grabbing cow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But she looked fit as hell on that movie.
She wasn't interested in him in the first when she met him in the party. Then then when she met him in the suit of armor room, and she was like, "Woo!"
Hey, Tom.
And then next thing you know, she's sleeping with him. So it's just
I mean, it didn't take a lot, did it? When you're a billionaire, you know, entrepreneur sort of.
Shit soup, no salt, dodgy wine. Oh yeah, and by the way, why are you scared of flying? Is that enough to get you into bed? Is it? And so yeah, no, I do enjoy it. I think Jack Nicholson is brilliant. He is a brilliant Joker. I know people make comparisons between him and the Heath Ledger Joker. You know, which one's but they're two very different characters.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
you know,
100%. I mean, it fits with the sort of tone of the movie. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. There's some of the one-liners he does.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, but he's also sort of menacing at the same time, isn't he?
It does make me laugh when he sat there and he's going, "Oh, he's bringing in terror. Wait until they get a load of me and all this lot." And then he goes off and shoots up the mayor and kills all the coppers and whatever else. And all they're talking about is Batman.
yeah, exactly.
It's like he's just gone under the radar completely there.
Why is Batman? Why is he getting all my press?
Yeah, you know, some of the other stuff like never rub another man's rhubarb. And stuff like that. You know, there's another rooster in the hen house. You know,
that's the good that part of the movie is really good, isn't it? Where he goes to see Vicky Vale in a apartment thing.
Yeah,
and he tips up, and then he's "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts!" And he just shoots him. Brilliant that. But the thing is that there was a lot of controversy around Michael Keaton being cast for that, wasn't there? Yeah. Like a lot of the things nowadays, you know, if they don't agree with it straight off the bat, you know, it must be the worst possible actor to do it. You know, but he'd never really been a serious actor on that with that, had he, beforehand?
No, and I'm trying to think who else was up for the role because it was someone stupid like was it Harrison Ford was up for it, and there was another comical actor that was up for it.
Yeah. But it's interesting how they make these decisions, though, isn't it? Because obviously these directors and they see something in someone, you know, and it's not always what everybody else's opinions are. I know Robert Pattinson got a lot of stick for his portrayal, didn't he, before he actually went on it. It's like that they're beloved characters that they don't want somebody messing it up.
Oh yeah, there you go. So I've just googled it. So I knew it was Harrison Ford. He was meant to be considered for it, and the other actors were meant to be Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, and Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, but I think for me, Michael Keaton is probably still my favourite Batman. If I'm honest, I think especially the second movie, I do enjoy the first one, but even watching it back today, I thought, you know what, I actually prefer the second one. You know, yeah, I definitely prefer the second one over the first one, but it's still a great movie.
Well, I think the first one was dipped a toe in the comic book movie, wasn't it? You know, can we make a dark, gritty comic book movie? And bearing in mind, in 1989, we didn't really have many of them that were mainstream movies.
Yeah,
you know, you had like the Flash, and you had Nick Fury, and the Spider-Man movie, but they weren't. The Spider-Man movie was a 3-part episode, wasn't it? That was just mashed together. It was a movie, and you know, the Flash movie was great. You know, I did enjoy the Flash movie. Then you've got like the Captain America movie that came roughly around the same time. But when you look at the Batman, that was like a mainstream movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I say that I said in that video that we've got coming out at some point, you know, the it was so hyped up, it was unbelievable. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line there is some sort of director's cut, or there should have been a director's cut, because you know the amount of merchandise off the back of that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, if he had any inkling to try and make it any darker, if you like, it would have scuppered all of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of slightly darker version of the movie hidden somewhere. Because Tim Burton can do that.
Yeah, you look at the Batmobile and the Batwing and stuff like that. The vision on that Batmobile was absolutely stunning.
Oh God, yeah, it was the best Batmobile I've seen. That
compared to the new ones that we're getting now, that the one in the Nolan films, which is pretty much a tank.
It's a tumbler, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you've got this Robert Pattinson's one where it's pretty much a souped-up muscle car. Don't get me wrong, I love that Batmobile. That in the Batman, it's probably the best part of the film for me.
Yeah,
it was listening to that roar before it shot off after the Penguin, but you know, there's no real vision behind it.
No.
You know, even in modern day cars today, you could have something else that would have stood out better. But like I say, Keaton's performance is brilliant. I think he plays the dozy sort of. I wouldn't say dozy. He's a bit more
eccentric.
Yeah, he's a bit more sort of pulled in, isn't he, compared to some of the other Waynes that we've seen.
Yeah.
As of late. But no, I really did enjoy that. But like you say, though, the Kim Basinger is Vicky Vale. I think she did all right. But we don't really see her back in the other series, so it's always a question what happened to Vicky Vale, because they were meant to be off in love and talking about getting together and trying to make it work, weren't they? And then in the next one, he's off sleeping with Selena Kyle.
Well, this is it. But I mean, he's a creature of the night, isn't he? So I very much doubt he was ever the settle down and have kids sort of character.
Yeah, but he's meant to be out banging bad guys, not banging other animals.
So we've just to go back to chat, so we're not ignoring you guys. We've had a note from Kathy to let us know that Cherry is not very well. You know, it's a bit like catching someone in school, isn't it? You know, I saw her on Chrissy's chat earlier on, and now she's poorly. No, mate, I hope she feels better. Tell her I hope she feels better.
Oh, bloody hell. You'd be the school snitch, wouldn't he?
I'm just saying, she was all
right. He's not sick. We've seen her in the shopping centre on the way into school.
Sounds like you got caught out a few times there, Steve.
I never skived school. I was a good boy. I was the snitch.
Real life stories.
She wasn't great then, to be honest. Now I hope she feels.
No, we hope she feels better soon. Bless her. What else we got?
So, in with the Michael Keaton Batman, then we've got the Joker, you've got Catwoman, you've got Penguin. You know, what other villains would you have liked to have seen early Batman sort of go up against?
To be honest with you, it's difficult. It's difficult because I'm not a massive comic book fan anyway. You know, I like my comic book movies, but reading comics is not my forte at all. Reading in general is not my forte. But it's one of those things where, you know, I think I'm learning a bit more about villains and stuff, but it's predominantly heroes, you know. So I don't know. Maybe a crossover at some point would have been good with Michael Keaton's Batman. I wouldn't have minded that too much. But having saying that, I think the Penguin's really good in it. I mean, it goes back to the original Batman, you know, the TV series.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. I mean, there's a couple of them in there, and then maybe I've actually seen a darker version of like the Riddler or something like that. That was. I'm not talking like the one that's just been in. I'm talking like maybe an incarnation of Jim Carrey's side of it within a Burton movie. I don't know. Bane maybe before he went on, because it was we've had two versions of Bane, haven't we?
We've had the wrestler version of Bane.
Yeah.
Which was in Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
If I remember, yeah. And then we've had the Nolan version of Bane, haven't we?
Or even a Poison Ivy, something like that would have been cool in an actual Tim Burton movie.
Yeah. So you would like to see Tim Burton's take on the bad guys that were in later movies.
Yeah, I think so.
Bat nipples.
Yeah, without the bat nipples and the credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of those were really good villains, and I think given what he did with the second one, he probably could have done another couple like that. That would have been awesome.
Lana's taking the piss out the way you said film.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, babe. Lemon drizzle squares. Ooh.
Do you know what? I've got some of those in the cupboard. I bought them. I had them in about 15 years.
Right. So let's get the wheel on the go, shall we? There we go.
Sylvester Stallone.
That'll do me.
That'll be a
one
difficult one,
of his the other day, actually, Sylvester. Yeah,
that'd be quite a difficult one the other day.
I watched one of his the other day, and I thought it was it was called Ice, but it was called ICU.
Okay. Good, the bad, and the ugly.
There's one. No, I'm stuck.
You're stuck here.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Fair enough.
Is the movie. Yeah, so
Say,
there we
Leo,
go. We've got.
Leo. Say hello.
Hello, Leo.
No. Say hello. How are you?
This one.
You're not having this one and this one. No.
I want Shrek DVD collection.
You want Shrek DVD, do you? No.
Shrek DVD.
No.
He's got better taste in movie than you have.
So he had us put it on the other day, and then he couldn't decide which one he wanted. Shrek DVD collection. Hey?
Okay.
No.
Right. So I'll tell you what we'll do.
No,
Let's move on. Let's move on to pick up to the week.
Gromit.
Actually, let's talk about the lack of movie news this week.
For walkies.
Time this one.
So let's talk about the lack of movie news this week,
Which
mate.
one?
Because John Carpenter seems to
about
have
which
18 articles out about the joys of filming his back catalogue. Every article seems to be him reliving what it was like to film like Big Trouble in Little China, etc. So he must be scraping the bottom of the barrel with that one.
What is Gromit?
What is Gromit?
Get to what is Gromit?
Yeah, so there isn't much out there. We're all talking about the new Ant-Man, so I'm just avoiding Ant-Man at the moment.
One is Gromit.
No. Go this way.
One is Gromit.
This way for me.
No, one is.
Come on, this way a second.
Oh,
Come on.
One is Gromit. Like a week.
Come on, this Gromit type of walkies. Go see Mummy.
Okay.
Mummy. Go see Mummy.
Mommy, you want one is Gromit time for winky?
No, Mummy wants you.
I want one is Gromit time for walking.
No. What else?
Chocolate.
Yeah, I really enjoyed The Samaritan, to be honest with you guys. I thought it was an interesting take at the end of the film where all wasn't what it seemed to have been. But yeah, I would for those who haven't seen The Samaritan, I would highly recommend going to watch it. Yeah, so the lack of movie news this week, mate. It's John Carpenter's pretty much coming out and taking all the headlines because every movie he's done, he wants to relive filming it or what decisions he's taking or
Really?
stuff like that. Yeah, have a look. And the other big news around it is all the Ant-Man stuff, and it's just like, no, I'm trying not to ruin the next two phases because every little character that's got a part in Ant-Man apparently is a major part in the next two phases.
Oh, right. Bloody hell.
So I'm not trying to... I'd like to try and unpick it when I watch it. So other than that, there isn't really much in the way of movie news this week.
Well, that's all right then.
Yeah, so we'll skip over that and we'll go straight to pickups of the week, shall we? Sorry, my brew arrived in the middle of the last segment there. So, would you like to start, Steve, or would you like me to start?
Oh, it's been quite a quiet one this week, to be fair. Just a few bits. I'll start. I don't mind.
Okay.
So just a few bits to picked up this week. I found this in a charity shop today, which I thought that was a good one, which is the soundtrack to Fight Club. It does say on the back for promotional use and not for resale, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I picked that up from a charity shop, which is nice. So that goes in my soundtracks. We're getting quite a few of them. A couple of Blu-rays I picked up because they were in the same charity shop together. Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this was probably a pack of the two and they've just split it up and tried to sell them separately, but that'll do for me. And these next two, this is the reason why I do visit charity shops, to be fair. Because you find stuff like this, which is Inspector Gadget, put in bumper set to go in my childhood stuff. So I'm chuffed with that. And then this one. D'Artagnan.
Oh.
Series 1, 2, and the movie.
Well, we were talking about D'Artagnan the other week, weren't we?
Yeah, well, I noticed Chris put a picture or a video out or something, and he had that on in the background when he was doing his work. But that was one of them I was missing. It's not a massive amount on the internet. I've had a look. It's a 9-disc set, but but it's one I've had a couple of random series, like a series 1 of it. And I think maybe the movie at one point, but I've never had the whole box set. So that cost me £1, so I'm chuffed with that. And that's pretty much it. I got a hat off one of the other resellers for my collection. So Bubba Gump, Forrest Gump on the back. But at the minute, I'm currently just shoved it on this just to try and get
straighten it out. After the dodgy packing.
It weren't ideal, but it's I'm chuffed that it's turned up.
Right, so since Steve has sort of left that quite sharpish now usually it's me that's only picked up 1 or 2 bits and straight on. So today we were in B&M Bargains and I picked up some Transformers.
Of course you did.
I picked up a little Megatron and I picked up a little Soundwave. Now, these are 12 quid normally, 12 to 14 pound in like Smiths and Entertainer for the little ones. They're only about that big, so tiny. But these were $6.99 in B&M, so I picked up 2 of them. I picked. Do you know what? I might as well carry on with Transformers now. You're going to see these on a video that come out on Saturday. So I picked up a Sky Lynx on Vinted. So that's a £50 Transformer, and I got them for 15 quid
on Vinted.
On Vinted,
yeah.
Dragstream and First Aid, both G1s, 10 quid for the pair. And I got a Titans Return Blast Off for 7 quid. These were all on Vinted.
I didn't think for a second that there was that many that you were missing, but clearly I was wrong.
And then, as Lana was shouting at me for all my Transformers that have come through the post, the postman knocked on with my G1 Stalker. So yeah, I got another G1
hey, Dave.
as well. Lana wasn't very impressed with the amount of toys I've picked up. I've got the final series of Attack on Titan.
I knew you wouldn't be able to leave it. I knew it.
So this is what I went back. This is what I went to Wrexham to collect when I said we would meet up with Andrew. I pre-ordered this in Wrexham. So the one that was in Chester was a special edition DVD set, and it had 6 discs. This is just the 3 discs, the 3 Blu-rays, and it's got a few extras on it and stuff like that. All I'm going to say is, fuck you, Attack on Titan, for the way that you've left this. When I was in Wrexham, I picked up Lord of the Rings, the trilogy.
Aww, that's a nice thing, isn't it?
It is a nice little case, yeah. Now, I've seen these where you've got the 3 separate cases. So, and I was looking at the new release in Asda, because it's in a single case like this. So when I saw this in CX and Warrington, now I do have to say Wrexham, sorry, not Warrington. I do have to say CX and Wrexham. You need to sort yourselves out. It must just have something to do with stores that begin with the letter W, because they are wank. Yeah, sorry. The customer service is not great in Wrexham. I picked this one up for you, Stevie.
Oh, brilliant! Nice one. That's awesome.
So this is for the viewers. This is the Roger Moore James Bond DVD box set. It's in a metal case, and it's all still.
It just looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it looks really nice. Factory
sealed. So I was glad, because when I messaged you and you didn't come back to me straight away, we actually went into Chester. So when you said yes that you'd have it, we had to go back to get it. And as we were there, I noticed she was putting out more stuff. So I've been on a bit of an anime binge as of late. So I got the first gig box set of Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. You don't see much of it about, though, in the charity shops, mate, honestly.
No. So this is the complete first series. So it goes to the shelf for £3. All discs
Wow.
are there. They're all in. They don't
Have you
even look
scanned
like
it?
you've been... What?
Have you scanned it?
Oh, yeah. Double my money back on it easily.
Wow.
When you open up the cases, mate, you get that initial crack, so it doesn't look like anyone's actually watched it. And to top it off, here's the second series.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was made up when I went back to get them. And I was in Warrington earlier on, and I picked up a couple of bits for you as well. Where's that steelbook on now?
All right. Steelbook. That's
Here we
piqued me
go.
interest.
Thought it would. Right, here we go. So I picked up the Wolverine on 3D Blu-ray.
Ooh.
So that's good. Just to make up the money, because I had no change and he had no change in his till, I picked up Avengers Assemble.
Because everyone's got about 3,000 copies of them.
Yeah, and the First Class, X-Men First Class, so I can watch that again. Because you said that you've seen that there were so many copies of Star is Born, and
Yeah.
you can't remember which one you've seen, I picked you up a copy of the Star is Born.
Oh, the original. I haven't seen that one.
On DVD.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it is in there. See? So
Is it Region
So
1 by any chance?
it's... I don't know. How do I see that? Not authorized for resale in US and Canada. I don't know why it's not authorized.
Does it say Region 1 or Region 2? There's a little 2 or a 1. I've got a feeling that's a Region 1.
I don't know. Where am I looking?
On the bottom of the DVD, at the back,
Yeah, come and
there's
show
a
me.
little triangle. There's a little triangle usually.
Thing, number
Oh, it's a 1.
That's not here, is it? Number 1.
Region
No,
1.
it's American. Send it over. I'll give it a try.
Yeah. So I saw this.
No way.
The Steelbook for Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. Now,
That's cool.
it is really cool. Now, when I opened it, he's got no discs in it. But what I thought is that you'd have these on DVD somewhere.
Oh, 100%. I've got them somewhere on DVD.
So I asked the man, has he got the discs in the back, thinking he would take them out and keep him with it being a steelbook, etc. And he said, oh no, the little buggers stole them. So someone stole the discs and not took the steelbook. So I asked him what he was doing with the steelbook, and he was going to bid it. So I got this for free.
Cool.
I rescued it for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'll send this down with A Star is Born and the James Bond.
Oh, thank you, bud.
And we've got a couple of other little bits and bobs to come your way. So, yeah, my week's been very Transformer heavy. Never mind the Mega Knob I've bought this week as well.
The what, sorry?
The Mega Knob. Now, when we were in Wrexham, we were in cash converters walking past cash converters window, and I went.
Oh God, here we go.
I said, "Look, they've got a knob in the window."
Oh God!
It is called the Mega Knob.
The Mega Knob.
The Mega Knob. Orc Mega Knob. So, when I went.
Transformers from Ann Summers.
So when I went in to speak to the man on the counter, I did say to him, "Can I have a look at the Mega Knob in the window, please?" And Lorna started laughing every time I used the word knob, like the child that she is.
You did overuse it though, didn't you? You used it for every single sentence.
So I did ask him if he's got any more knobs upstairs, but you know.
Yeah, have you got any more knobs in the back?
Have we got any more knobs in the back? It's at which point he actually went and had a look. So no, there we go. So they were my picker. I don't think I've had any more. No, I haven't. No, but like I say, me Sky Links. He's brilliant. I love Sky Links. And like I say, He's probably one of the few that I've actually got a duplicate of, because
Is he complete?
he's missing a little bit, but I can't see where he's missing it, because it's everything that the other one's got, and the other one was brand new. So the bloke says he's missing something, but I've got a feeling he thinks one of these was missing. You know, the little tail things at the back.
Yeah.
Because one was up and one was tucked away down underneath that wing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so he thought that was broke.
He's thought it's gone, but it's not. It's there.
Bloody hell.
So you have to look at these now, and they're going between 40 to 50 second hand unboxed.
Wow.
If you can get a good boxed one, and you can get an early one, they're about 150 quid.
Jesus.
So that's a combiner. And like I said, I've got a duplicate of him because he is part of the middle. He does make up the middle of Sky Rain, which is the only combiner that I've got. So now I've geeked out over Transformers for the last 5 minutes. We can get back to movies again.
Well, I forgot to mention, I picked up a couple of DVDs this week for a change, but they were Chuck Norris. Because I thought, you know what, I haven't watched many of these Chuck Norris movies. It does say not for individual resale, so there is a box set somewhere that's missing these. But you've got this one here. And then Missing in Action. I mean, look at that, though. Look at him on there. So I'm going to watch this one. Yeah. Definitely. Because it looks like a right laugh. But I've not really seen many Chuck Norris stuff. I've seen is it Walker Texas Ranger?
Yeah.
But this stuff was like, well, I might as well give it a go. But yeah, there's the legend and the myth that is Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that he got built by a rattlesnake, and after about 4 days, the snake died.
Honestly, I love the Chuck Norris the facts online.
Yeah.
Has about 2 seats. Does it really, Neil?
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 of them, isn't there?
I mean, well, when you've got a front cover like that one, do you know what I mean? He's going to get sequels regardless.
Yeah.
But,
so there you go.
Yeah,
so as Lana was shouting at me, because what you'll see now down there is that I've got a pile of shame now of stuff. You're not going to see it properly now because it's all too dark. I've got a pile of shame now of stuff that I need to find homes for. And if you look on the unit there behind me telling you, see it's all there as well. So it's all stuff I've got to find homes for, but it's stuff I couldn't not get. You know, I was on the stream last week or the week before with AJ when he said if I get anything big, I'm going to have to let stuff go. So I'm constantly buying little figures like him.
Yeah,
that I can transfer and he can just sit on the shelf. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, very Transformer heavy for me this week.
Yeah, well, like I say, I mean, I was sort of looking, thinking, I've not really picked up any Blu-rays apart from those two, which is quite unusual. I even went in to double check CEX today just to see if there's anything else, but there was nothing else I really wanted, to be fair. Let's say they've got that Wrath of Khan steelbook in, but I don't particularly feel like going and buying it, to be honest. I do need to check something while I'm here.
Kerry's asking where did we get our shelving from? Mine was Argos. I got my bookcases in Argos. So these are the 2 standard bookcases. And this is the thin pencil one, but I've put it on an angle to go into the corner of the room. So the 2 bookcases come into it, and that one's on the angle there to make the corner piece. So that saved me a bit of money. Then going to IKEA to buy the 3-piece corner piece, and then I've got other bookcases over there. Units and stuff like that. The top of the wardrobe I've used. The wardrobe we've built ourselves, and I've put a top on it so I can put my stuff on. And I've got another one of the pencil bookcases to put my Blu-rays on. So yeah, these bookcases were only 15 quid each in Argos, and then the corner piece was about 12 quid. So that's the way I've done it. You've got just the bookcases, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, so I've got 3 white ones and 2 black ones. Because I started off with black ones and then I picked up a white one off Facebook. But then the other 2 are from, I think this one and this one are from JYSK. Just about 30 quid, something like that. But I've been thinking about this recently because I've been seeing a lot of people with shelving that sort of top to bottom made, sort of homemade ones. That have are literally the size of the Blu-ray. And I've been thinking, I wonder if I can get more space out of it if I did it from sort of top to bottom in here on these 2 walls, rather than losing all the space. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't pay a lot for shelving. I'll pick it up from Facebook if I have to.
Yeah, no, I was sort of lucky with ours because the ones that the Warhammer's on, the big one over there, that was given to us by the neighbour when Mike was getting rid of his collection. He was downsizing his collection and he gave us a big bookcase. So I've bought that in here, and like I say, the little pencil ones where I've got my Blu-rays on at the moment. The next stage for me, like I say, I'm trying to utilize the space I've got. I've got a little bit of wall space underneath the Star Wars over there.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of wall space on the picture wall, and then that wardrobe's got no side on it at the moment. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting a side on it. Shh, don't tell Lana. It's just between you. It's putting a side on it and then putting shelves across the side, and then they
Here in a minute. You what?
they can get stuff on the side on that as well. But I've also got a little bit of space up there, which I'm going to move all those posters and everything around, all the comics around, so I can get your movie poster up that you've kindly sent me. That's going to go up there with with similar sort of setup with the other picture wall. So all the comics will go around the main poster, and then we
need to figure out what size frame it is.
Yeah, and then my Transformer stamps have got to come out as well because I got the limited edition print Transformer stamps, didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Ah, shit, I didn't whisper loud enough, quite enough.
But this is it. But the thing is that the shelves that I've got, they're not really ideal because they're not. I can't adjust, especially the white ones. I can't adjust them to get more shelves in. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I've been saying that they are quite deep, so I can get one in front of the other if I want to save a bit of space. But yeah, that's the bugbear at the minute. Because I mean, I've got that whole shelf there that's absolutely full of steelbooks, but there's 2 rows of them.
So what I'm looking at doing with my Warhammer shelves, because at the moment I've got the 6 McFarlanes right at the back, the big ones.
Yeah.
And then I've got loads of the little Warhammer figures, which are only about that big, aren't they? You've seen them.
Yeah.
Dotted around the front of them, all nicely displayed. Now,
well, he's holding us in suspense.
Yeah, I was watching one of the other YouTubers, and what they've done is that they went to a pound shop, and do you know the makeup stands where you put your nail varnishes on, and it's like a 3-tier. They've got the 3-tier stands up there, and then they've put the little Warhammers on them, and then that gives them space around the side. So we've been trying to find that. You're saint. Don't be blowing smoke up her ass. So yeah, I was going to get them so I can get more. She is really understanding, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't have this collection if she wasn't as understanding as she is. She hates coming in this room. It's too much for her. She says it's just chaotic, and it is. I've got piles of stuff everywhere. Yeah, those are acrylic stands, so I need to get a couple of them so I can get more space on me shelves. Because
that's an idea.
Because the little display stands. Yeah. Now, the problem with the revolving shelves, because I was looking at them, the ones that you turn and it's got the bit in the middle. I was looking at them, but you can only display what it's showing at the time. ATJ. So you can only display what it's showing at the time, and then you've got stuff that's hidden at the back. I would recommend having a look at like glass cabinets and stuff like that. But again, you're talking quite a bit of money for the glass cabinets.
Yeah.
But like I said, we just went with the bookshelves. And if you've got an Argos in town, or if you spend, I think if you spend over 30 quid in Argos, they deliver it home for free. So if you're going to get them from one place and get them delivered. And these are all flat packs, so you just put them up at the same time. Go on, question. Is there any DVDs, etc. you two have? Any I'm looking out for? I don't know. I had like a huge DVD collection at one stage when Lana started reselling. That was the first thing.
I think what Lana would appreciate is if you just sent them all to him, one after another. Boxes full of them. I think she'd really, really appreciate you for that. For me,
she'd love you as much as Belle loved me when I sent them that tire.
I'd love to have seen that. I'd love to have been there when they opened the door. Honestly, that would have been absolute gold.
Almost as much as she loved you when you managed to get it out under that bush.
Well, I didn't want him to leave it, so and you know that will follow them wherever they go in life. Ever that thing, it will always be replaced if they ever try and leave it anywhere.
Every time I go to a car garage now, I just want to pick up another tire. Just send it.
We've just spotted the sequel. This is his brother, older brother, the bigger one. Imagine the way it is at the minute. The garden that they've got is about 12 different layers, isn't it? So you could have one on each one.
Have one on each one. Yeah.
Just gradually bigger as it goes to the top.
Yeah. As he gets to the top, is a great big tractor wheel.
I think for me, guys, I'm just trying to collect some of the stuff from sort of the 80s and 90s, really. It's not always... You sort of know there's the stuff that's not always sort of everywhere you go. Do you know what I mean? It's... I mean, I've got quite a few bits now, but just some of the cartoons from the 90s and the 80s would be cool. Other than that, I've got my little stash of steelbooks. So if you ever spot any steelbooks, you can always let me know. That'd be awesome. But thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Kerry, I know you're saying that sort of in jest, but if you go to your local town centre and there's shops that are closing down, ask them what they do with the shelving rackets and stuff like that, because people do sell them. We were in Toys R Us in Chester when Toys R Us in Chester was closing on the Greyhound. We were asking what they do with their shelves, because they had Transformers themed shelving units, and you know, we were unlucky enough because somebody else had already bought them when the shop had shut. They were getting shipped.
And you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's here.
Welcome.
Here he is. Thanks,
can I just point out before we continue? I know that, Dave. It's about programs that were from the 80s and 90s on DVD, not Laserdisc. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good. I don't need Laserdisc.
We could have had on this side here, or on the Transformers here, we could have had a Transformers themed Toys R Us shelving unit.
Oh, mate,
there, with the sides and the advertising boards at the top. You know, they would have absolutely be brilliant. You know, I would have loved that, but we were just too late.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. God, can you imagine? You'd have everybody up the stairs showing them. You'd be like, guys, come and have a look. I'd be like, come on,
Get
they've
everybody up.
obviously-
Anyone that comes into our house has got to visit the toy room. It's law. They've got to do it because
What we
it
need is a
changes.
sign that says Big Steve's Toy Room.
It changes so often throughout the week. You know, you've never got the same stuff in here twice. There's always more in here. You know, and people are amazed how much I can cram in such a room, and you know. But like I say,
I've got a second. Someone's trying to hustle in on this. Mm-hmm.
Transformers, Big Steve in disguise. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so if you ever managed to get to Cassidy Jackson, you will get the toy room tour. Yeah, you will get the toy room tour at some point. And it's funny as well because Lana's mum, she's a carer and she works with special needs people and stuff like that. And she's always asking for photos of the toy room because people are always asking what she's been buying. So yeah. No, I'm just made up. I'm made up for what I've got. You know, I work hard enough, and we don't have much to spend our money on apart from things that make you happy, do you? So there we go.
No, exactly, and this is the thing. You know, I was just looking for Transformers shelving. You never know, do you?
No, there you go. Big Steve, spoiler alert top is on sale on her Vinted site. It's a size XL. Told you, I keep buying stuff, and I don't realise now that I am not an XL anymore. I'm a large, and I keep buying things in XL, and they're just too big for me now. And we'll get there. Toy rooms in the basement. I don't know. Right, where are we up to with the show? Because we've sort of gone off on a tangent. There we go. Let's throw the link in the chat, shall we? See who we get on.
Do you want to try a different one?
Different what?
Well, you've just done pickups of the week.
Did I? I thought I did off script.
You could off and all. Cheeky shit. Because Chris is known for keeping a show on script.
Anyway. So, this week, mate, I have been watching a lot of Attack on Titan. I have managed to binge watch about 80 episodes of it in about a week.
Wow. Hang on. I've got another pickup. 1 minute.
If he comes back with the final series of Attack on Titan, I'm going to kill him. Now, I know what I've got, Neil. I do know what I've got. The scary thing about it is that Lana knows what I've got as well, and she does notice when there's something new or something has moved. Yeah, they're about half an hour. Some of them are slightly longer, but yeah, they're about half an hour an episode. But you can put them on marathon run, so you don't get the start and end of each episode. They just run into one. She's probably.
I knew. Right, so just going back to what we was watching this week. I watched I think it was on Freevee. I watched this basically. So it's In Search of the Last Action Heroes. So this is a documentary thing that goes on about all the 80s and / early 90s movie characters, movie heroes. Anyway, it was on that Freevee, I think it was, where you've got like adverts every so often. And I thought, you know what, I really enjoyed it. So I had a look on Amazon and it was available. So I picked it up. That arrived. That was quite a good watch. Little Steve from the toilet. If he does come back after.
So you picked up Escape from New York.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Have you
I did,
watched
yeah. No, not yet. But that's mentioned in this actually.
Well, I was going to say because it's just saw Snake Plissken on the top of the.
Yeah, no, it's mentioned in this. But no, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I think I put it over here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever fancy co-hosting a movie-based show, and you've actually watched some decent shows, then please let me know because I'll be looking for a replacement.
You've been watching Attack of the Titans for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I've also watched Batman. I have also.
Don't tell me you're busy working.
I've watched Power Rangers today.
Which what? What, the originals?
The 2017 Power Rangers.
Oh, the movie.
The movie. I watched that today. That's fucking awful.
It's dreadful, isn't it?
Yeah. And what else have I watched? I don't know what. I've watched some Gundam. I've watched Gundam Wing XY. I've watched that this week. And I've watched Gundam Hathaway on Netflix. Yeah. What? Oh, yeah, and season 2 of Genlock. I've watched season 2 of Genlock.
Neil said Power Rangers is terrible, full stop.
It is awful. It is awful. Now, it is a case of I have watched quite a lot of cartoons this week. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I do need to get back into my G1 Transformers. I need to watch all of them again. And Mask. I started watching Mask the other week and I never finished it.
What, the cartoon?
The cartoon, yeah. The mobile attack strike command, is it, or something? Yeah. Are you still speaking English? Yeah. Here's Gundam.
Mobile Armored Strike Command.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has anyone saw last night with Morgan Freeman? No, I haven't. I might need to give that a go.
So AJ was putting you in your place there.
Have a look on Netflix, Kerry, because there's quite a bit of the Gundam stuff on there. The original 86, 88 movies are still in Japanese with subs, but there is about 3 or 4 series on there, the later ones, like the Blood Orphans. That's a great series. There's only 2 seasons of that. It's a brilliant series. But then the rest of it you can get on Fbox. The rest of the series there. So I've just been streaming to the Chromecasts.
I
don't know. Each to their own, mate. Each to their own. You need to.
It's not each to their own. It is standard at best.
I love Samurai Pizza Cats. I thought the opening theme tune to Samurai Pizza Cats was absolutely
Oh,
brilliant.
that was off that bloody quiz, wasn't it?
And I loved I loved the little crows as well, which were meant to be the bad guys that were stopping them from delivering the pizzas. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and they were dressed up in like Gundam armor.
Evil
with all the
Network
masks.
on Mayhem. Okay.
There's a lot of series on Blue. Yeah.
AJ, Venom.
Ooh.
Know that?
No. Yeah, and if you've got money to burn, Kerry, then have a look on CEX online, because the store in Chester had 3 or 4 different series, complete series of them.
Oh, of course, yeah.
On Blu-ray.
Yeah, thank you, AJ.
Right, okay, Kerry, have a good one.
Bye, Kerry. Thank you for joining us.
All right, so let's put the link back in and let's see if we can get anyone on. I haven't really been watching too many films or anything, mate. I've been watching a lot of YouTube and a lot of cartoons as of late, so I'm a bit behind on stuff that's been released on Netflix. Has there been anything good?
There's one that's been brought on. What's it called? It's about the wielding axe murderer. It's basically this guy that's it becomes an internet sensation. Then within about 4 months, he's being done for murder. That's just dropped on Netflix. I forget what it's called now, but it's basically this. He ends up helping somebody out. He was getting attacked, and then, like I say, literally within the space of 4, had every single possible news network and TV host that wanted to interview him. And then within the space of 4 months, he's wanted for murder, which is quite an interesting one. It is the axe wielding something or other. That's pretty good.
Do you know what, Neil? The whole Andrew Tate thing, right? He's lived his life online. He flies around in tracked private jets. He drives the fastest cars in the world around the places where everyone's watching like a hawk. And you're telling me he's supposedly been brought down in a sex people trafficking ring because of a pizza box? Come on.
You talking conspiracies again, Steve?
No, I'm not. I am just saying that this lad is not off social media. He's been banned on all platforms. Everyone's following. There's clips of him everywhere he goes, and he's supposed to be involved in a people trafficking syndicate. And there's just no way.
Well, that's it. The hatchet welding hitchhiker. There we go. Thank you, guys. That's what it was. I need to do a bit of catching up with this Andrew Tate stuff, because I've started seeing videos of him online. I mean, the craziest one for me is that bloody McAfee guy. That whole shenanigans was mental. I watched a documentary about him not long ago. There's so much weird stuff going on with people like that. I mean, I've been stuck watching the bloody Harry and Meghan show this week with that stuff that's been going on in the book release and all that jazz.
He's just another one, isn't he? They just shot him. The truth.
Honestly, it's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I get what happened to his mum and him, and obviously going through that was terrible, but it's literally like they're in a blame culture for everybody. It's everybody else's fault by their own.
Yeah, I would say so. What I believe in this Matrix theory, this whole red pill, blue pill thing. I don't believe it's as clear cut. Some of the stuff he says, I agree with. Some of it, I don't. and some of it really does appall me. But I think it's each to their own. You're entitled to your own opinion, and you can't argue with some of the views that he's got on the modern world. You can't. But there's a lot of it that I don't agree with as well. So
yeah,
when you watch him, Steve, he's like who's the other fella? Is it Jordan Peterson? When you watch Jordan Peterson, and I think they could structure an argument in a way where you would agree with it, although it's against every moral being a strain of DNA in your body. But the way that it's been structured, it's sort of like, right, okay, yeah, that sort of makes sense. But it's, yeah, it is a different. When the more that you watch on it, you start seeing patterns and stuff like that. But what they reckon they've caught him on, and the way that they've caught him on, is the bit that's got me.
Oh yeah, well he's supposed to be. He's ordered a pizza in it, and they know where the location of that pizza place was.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he staying up 8, or is he just having a stay?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot we don't know about it, and it's just, it's one of those things where, like, going back to what I was saying about the Harry and Meghan things, I mean, to be fair, TJ said exactly the same thing. They want then people want privacy, and then they sign a deal with Netflix for 100 million.
Yeah,
go on every single talk show they could possibly go on, promote books with a load of shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say to me, look, we want to bow out and just have our own lives, and want the kids to grow up as a normal family. That says to me that they just want attention and they want to be bigger than the royal family.
The whole, when he was on the interview at the weekend, and he was saying, him and William were rolling around the grounds of Balmoral fighting, and that doesn't need to be brought out, does it, in any shape or form, in a book or not, or a TV interview?
No.
Going on some of the comments he's made about Camilla as well, saying that he loves her but he can't stand her and he hasn't spoken to her for a couple of years. But that's a contradiction in itself.
Yeah. Well, they're going back on the stuff that caused ripples from the Oprah.
When the Queen was alive, yeah.
Yeah, from the Oprah situation.
Yeah.
They were like insinuating, and I'm going to say insinuating because it wasn't that they came out full and said it, but they were insinuating that there was racism within the royal family. And now they're coming out saying, "Oh no, we didn't say that." And that's the thing. Kathy said the same there. Harry is surrounded by people who want to make money for him. No, I don't think he's bright. I don't think he is bright enough.
No, I haven't seen the Golden Globes, the Golden Globes yet, Will, but I have seen the Eddie Murphy bit where he says the 3 rules is like, remember to thank people, remember to do this, and remember to keep Will Smith's wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
No, really?
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. No, but going back to a point that Kathy's just made there about people citing hatred, and Neil saying that an artist did it in 1930. Obviously, we going about him. The stuff like those interviews generate hate. It generates hate for one group or another. And going back to the Andrew Tate thing, and Jordan Peterson thing, and all these. Is it Ben Sherpo from the States? Ben
Shapiro.
Yeah, their clips are doing the rounds around the internet now, and they're old clips. They're not new clips. They're really old clips. But it is getting people because of this council culture and the blame culture that we're living in at the moment, where people are going back and cutting small snippets of conversation.
Yeah.
YouTube are great for this, because if you've just seen the new shorts listings and stuff like that for monetization, if you can get 10 million views via shorts, you can be monetized now without getting your 1,000 subs or your 4,000 watch hours. So if you put a short out and it takes off and you get more than 10 million views on it, or if you put, say, 20 views shorts out, they all go viral, you get that. And people are taking snippets of these conversations, banging them out to hit that 10 million views. But it's just pushing it out worldwide. You know, and you can take any part of a conversation and it can be taken out of context of the rest of the conversation, and it can sound as great as you want it or as bad as you want it.
No, I mean, the thing is that going back to what we're talking about, I mean, Lindsay and Alvin have said the same thing there. that interview did insinuate racism with 100%, because the thing is that even that little snippet of information was a massive selling point for that particular interview with Oprah Winfrey. If they'd have been like, no, everyone's been welcoming, it's been fantastic, but we just don't like this and this, it wouldn't have got anywhere near it. So now they've sort of done that damage, and then they're trying to go back on it, which for me is wrong. And this is the problem: is that, you know, they're not within the space of doing that. They then signed up to the Netflix deal. They've had people go, you know, they've had people traveling around with them. They could take the dogs wherever they wanted. They could travel wherever they wanted over COVID. You know, life's been hard for them. You know, and now they're still telling us their story. And watching a lot of YouTube clips, there's so many people, especially from like the States as well. The States, there's so many different views on them. You know, they really don't like them over there. The people that I've seen on YouTube, they don't like him at all. You know, it's like literally like you can have him back.
Only in certain countries, Neil, you still need your 1,000. The UK is one of them, but only in certain countries. In other countries, you just need the views, and you can monetize on the shorts only, not any of the other content. You know, how you can come out and say, what did he say Prince Philip said about what colour's the baby going to be, or something like that? You know,
well, that's the thing. They never said who it was. He was like, I will never tell you, and she wasn't telling anybody. You know, but the thing is that they want to tell us their story over and over again. And even after that hour and a half's worth of thing the other day, there's then the next day American interviews as he's doing his book tour. You know, the American interviews of him literally just regurgitating the same crap.
Yeah.
You know, I can guarantee you within 2-3 months, that book is in every charity shop. Because people will have bought it just to try and see something else. I mean, all you need to do is go on YouTube and watch 10 most shocking moments from Harry's spare book. And that'll give you the whole story.
But the thing is, though, is that people are reading it, and people are wanting to read it. People are listening to it, you know, and it's in the news, it's in everything. Give him what he wants. Don't give him the airtime. He wants his privacy. Don't give him airtime. I don't give two hoots what William and Kate are doing. Never mind somebody that's I'll
tell you right now, though. I'm quite honestly, I would prefer Will and Kate to be on the throne. I'm quite happy that Will and Kate are going to be the ones that are going on the throne, as opposed to Meghan and Harry, because that would be an absolute nightmare.
To be honest with it doesn't matter. This whole coronation thing, that we're going to have to sit through in a couple of months.
Yeah,
you know, I'd be grateful for the extra bank holiday. I'm not bothered why we're having it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, cheers for that, guys. I don't know what it's for, but sod it. I'll have the day off.
Yeah, I don't care what it's for, you know. But I know there's people out there that are loyalists and love the monarchy and everything else. But to me, it doesn't matter if it's run by a monarchy or a prime minister or a sovereign or I don't know. I'm just not that way inclined that I'm too bothered about who's the. What does piss me off though is that someone's taking the opportunity to move away from the duties in life, says that they want to be private, move over to the States, and to make the name of themselves, slate us all off over here.
That's my point. That's
then
my
wonder
point,
why
totally.
when he comes over here, he's getting called the ginger tosser and fuck off you half-bred fucking idiot or whatever it is.
This is the thing. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, you know, and I'm done sort of sitting on the fence with some of this. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, they make their choices. They made their bed. They need to lie in it. I'm not saying that the monarchy is perfect because it's an absolute shambles by the sounds of it, you know, and they don't do a lot. Well, I say they don't do a lot for us. It's Parliament and everything that run the country, really. You know, but as a sort of a brand or a face for England,
that's a figurehead.
It's just as important. A figurehead is that's the important side of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you can't sod off over there and go, well, we were quite willing to do, you know, our duties from here. No, you weren't, mate. Not at all. But just stop telling us about it. I mean, did you see? Piers Morgan was saying, "When am I getting my job back?"
Yeah. That's the bit that I've got the issues with. Is that when that all went off and people took sides, and they did take sides. You know, it might not be, Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson's side versus somebody else's side, but people did take sides, and there was that split the country over that, you know. And Pierce is right in what he says. He doesn't believe it until he saw what was happening.
I'm not entitled to my own opinion. I think everybody is. I mean, it's just one of those things where they're just throwing it in everyone's faces constantly, and that's what annoys me with it. You know, I wish them all the best of luck. You know, they're happy together. Knock yourself out, but just don't flash it all over the paper every time someone forgets who you are.
Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this logically, right? What caused more damage? The fact that we changed the monarch leader, or the fact that we changed prime ministers 3 times?
100%. It's
Right. So which part of them are a stabilizing factor?
I think the Queen was incredibly stabilizing, to be honest.
She was, but only because she was there for 70 odd years.
Yeah, she'd had a bit of practice at it, hadn't she?
Yeah. But to be honest with you, changing the monarch and having a new king and all that lot didn't help stabilize the financial markets.
No,
it hasn't. It hasn't brought your cost of living down. So, are they a stabilizing factor? I don't know if they are. I'm just not a big fan of the monarchs. To be fair, the monarchy, the whole system.
Well, like I said, mate, it's each to their own. You know,
my life in any shape or form. So,
but it's a symbol for England, isn't it? Really, and the UK, as I've been quite rightly pointed out by Tonks. Thanks, mate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those situations where, you know, they are a sort of they're the face of it, aren't they? You know, but anyway, so that's wasted a bit of my time this week. I did watch, I think it was Fast 8. Is Fast 8 the one with Jason Statham and that other bad guy in, where they're rescuing Dom's kid off the plane?
Fast
it is,
8,
isn't it? Yeah, it's Fast 8. That was on telly. I watched that the other night.
Hobbs's younger brother.
Yeah.
Shaw and Shaw's younger brother from the film beforehand.
Yeah. I watched that one for a change because that was on telly the other night. What else was on telly? There was something else I watched as well. There was another film I watched. I'll think of it in a minute. But you've been generally watching cartoons then all week?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. And the only film I've watched is based on cartoons. In Batman and Power Rangers. Yeah. I do need to. There's a couple of films on other means, like Megan. I want to watch Megan. I know there's people that have slated it and people said that they've loved it. I just want to make my own opinion and watch it.
Yeah, I try and stay away from the reviews before I watch something like that. But I've been saying that some of the quick sort of non-spoiler reviews I've watched have been, it knows what it is and it's a good movie sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'm not a big horror fan, you know. But I just see AI mixed with Chucky.
Yeah, and that's basically what we're going with, I think.
Yeah, and wait, I'm not like I say, I'm not a big horror fan. For those that know the channel, Steve's your horror man. I'm just not into it whatsoever. But Megan's one that's got me interested.
He gets scared easily, guys.
I do.
The big old softy, aren't you?
I am. You know. What else has took me fancy? There's a couple of films on Five Other Means that I'd like to look of, but they're not mainstream films, which is what I've is what I'm worried about. What's Kathy saying? You've heard a lot of rage about people.
Oh yes, I read a bit of that.
Yeah,
I did. I read a bit of that the other day. Yeah. Thousands of people, apparently. Like they actually have the police workforce to actually do any of that. Hardcore.
That I was on going back through Z's channel. I went back on a couple of Z's channel and some of his videos, and he picked up a load of fantasy books, you know, and fantasy horror and fantasy adventure, and I used to read them as a kid. We used to go into Woolies and pick them up, and you read the page and it says, right, you have now got to go into this castle, and then it says, if you turn left, please go to page 44. If you turn right, please go to
I remember those books. Yeah,
and you flick through the story, and the story changes depending on what your option. And I was looking, I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I might start getting them again. You know, because they were
cool.
They were the only books I read.
There was them, and there was Point Horror as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember them Point Horror books?
Yeah, the Point Horrors. Yeah. But they were the only books I read, was the fantasy ones and the horror ones and stuff like that. Was it Steve Jackson and Ian Livingston were the writers? And some of the stories that they came up with, and then the whole idea was is that you finish the story, and you went back and started again, but pick different options, and you got a whole completely different story.
Yeah, that's it. It sounds like Dungeons and Dragons type books. Yeah, there was though, but that's the sort of that's the sort of design they were, weren't they? It's like if this happened, then go to this page. It was pretty cool. I bet it was quite tricky to actually do that though, but yeah, it was pretty cool, them books.
Because you had you had your health stats and your armor stats, and you know, if you bumped into a skeleton with a sword, if you hadn't had any sort of armor on, you get done.
Yeah. Here he comes to suck up. Here we go.
I prefer your ladybug. Yeah, I got some of them there down there. Lindsay and Alvin asked if they could have a read along with movie chats.
God,
they wanted me to continue reading the story. You know, at the end of the last video. It was funny. Did you see I was reading it to the Transformers?
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, at the end of the video. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that because I was like, somebody had mentioned something in the comments. I was like, right, I'm gonna have to watch to the end of this now. I need fucking reading.
Reading to the Transformers. But yeah,
Brilliant. That was great. That was.
it was all good fun. What I was going to say? Oh yeah,
We're
so
just talking about the books.
Those adventure books. I'm surprised no one's picked them up and sort of made them into a series of films. Do you know, like we got like the Page Master with
Yeah.
and Inkart and stuff like that, which was all stories based on books. They went into the story world and whatever else. And you could do that, couldn't you? Depending on which way that you took the story, changed the outcome of stuff. Yeah, choose your own adventure.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, that was the one on Netflix, the Black Mirror episode. I think it was like about season, maybe start of season 4 or season 5. But it was an interactive one where it only worked with certain versions of the Netflix app. So if you had like an old TV, you couldn't do it. An older smart TV with Netflix on, you couldn't do it. It had to be like a latest version of it. But I forget what it was called now. It was a like a proper special one. It was.
Dave saying we could do a watch along of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Bandersnatch, that's the one. Bandersnatch, yeah. I do love Black Mirror. I love some of those.
They've got a couple of those on Netflix at the moment. Have you seen the WWE one about the Undertaker?
What's that? You're not talking The Last Ride, are you?
No. So it's the New Day. So Kofi Kingston.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
I know what you mean now.
Who's the other one? Who's the other one from the New Day? Bloody hell!
I don't know. I don't like the New Day, to be fair. But I know exactly what you mean, because them three go looking for him, don't they? Or something
they go looking for the Undertaker, yeah. So they knock on the door, and it's like, do you knock on the door or do you go through the window and you press left and right and whatever. WWE's apparently been sold, Dave. I didn't know Big E had retired. I know he'd broken his neck and he's recovering, but I don't think he's got the same neck injury that Edge has had, hasn't he? And Edge has come back recently. So, yeah, WWE, Vince McMahon's come back after being able to get rid of his sexual harassment charges.
There is that.
He's come back. Stephanie McMahon's left permanently.
Really?
Yeah, she's decided to follow on. So she mustn't agree with what her dad's done, to be fair.
But hang on. You've still got Triple H there, though.
Triple H is currently head of creative, but it doesn't mean that Vince won't take that back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Paige is now at AEW. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was watching your son's channel this morning, Lindsay. So they're planning on selling it to this Saudi government sort of ran entertainment company. And it'll be an interesting one because, like you say, they've done a couple of shows over in Saudi at the moment, and a third of the roster doesn't want to go over there because of the whole human rights and all that status.
Sure.
But if they're going to be Saudi owned, they might not have a say in that. So you might see a lot of the big stars leaving WWE to go to companies like AEW and TNA and yeah, that's to the detriment of WWE. Yeah. So I don't know. That's one to watch, I suppose. But give it 5 years, mate, when all these public records are released of stuff that's happened in WWE in the 80s and 90s. We'll have a good movie, I reckon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, bless him. Thanks for watching his Steve vid. His vid, Steve.
No, you're welcome. I was laughing how he introduced himself as the YouTube heavyweight champion. He's got a WWE Universal Championship belt, and that's his intro. You know, it's
really.
Yeah, it's quite good.
What's
Yeah.
his YouTube?
It's his name, isn't it? Is it Brad West something?
Well, tell us what it is.
By the time I find it, Lindsay's probably put it in the group.
Please stop making Lee talk about WWE.
Yeah, what was it?
That's Brad Wessex.
That's the one.
Check that out if you haven't, guys. Then
Yeah, go and check him out. He's quite knowledgeable, and for a young lad doing YouTube, he does it quite well. But like I say, the intro just made me giggle today when I saw him with his championship belt. But yeah, it was a good video.
I'm definitely going to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch that when I finish.
Yeah. What's the dark side of wrestling? Yeah, I've watched some of that, the dark side of wrestling. I've been watching quite a lot of the documentaries since November because they seem to have been released from the WWE TV, the network, and they're making their way onto Netflix and YouTube at the moment, so you can get a lot of those sort of WWE Network only shows.
Hang on. Let's sort that out.
Have we never give you a spanner?
I'll sort that out now. Do you know what? I'm actually I'm doing that wrong. Spanner? You're a bloody spanner.
I know. See, ladies and gentlemen, you think it's me that bullies him? To be honest with you, Lindsay, he doesn't come across that he does when he's talking, which is good. So yeah.
Rocky move, Steve. Bloody hell.
So you go onto YouTube.
Yes, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it now.
Yeah, he doesn't come across that he struggles with his confidence, to be honest. I think he comes across quite well. So, yeah. Found it. His first video dumpster diving question is who gets to the dumpsters first. Do you need to synchronize which dumpsters you're going to so you don't end up at the same ones?
What's that?
But no, if he ever wants to talk wrestling, I'm here. I can talk wrestling with him for days. We might be different eras and stuff like that, but it'll be a good chat.
Yeah, we'll talk about wrestling. I mean, I've got some knowledge from over the years growing up. But it's I don't know. I watch it every so often now, but it's not the same as it was back in the day. But I don't know if I prefer like the early 90s or the Attitude Era, because I did like the Attitude Era.
The Attitude Era was great, but then it swapped from the Attitude Era straight to the PG-13 era, and it sort of happened overnight.
Yeah,
it was all of a sudden the new breed in the late 90s, early 2000s. It sort of just died off, No,
I mean that's. It went through a state. It goes like that, doesn't it? The wrestling, it can. Sometimes it'd be really great. Sometimes, but I think for me, especially before AEW, when it was WCW and it was WWE or WWF, that was the best sort of time because they were competing for a long time. They didn't really have any competition for a period of time.
I've been told to say D-Generation X for the best. The whole Monday Night Wars was good when it was a Monday Night War for the ratings. But then when they had the whole alliance storyline, when they had WCW and ECW take on WWF or WWE as it was, that got silly because it was the same company and all they done was just bring the three rosters sort of together, and then they all got split into Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, didn't they at first? And then it moved on to Thursday nights. You've got the same situation now, though, with the AEW, haven't you? Where it makes you wonder who actually owns AEW, because you've got wrestlers coming and going all the time from that one.
Yeah.
And where you've got Cody Rhodes, who is a vice chief executive for AEW, who's just decided he's now moving back to WWE, and he just what's that?
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I know Tony Khan says he owns it, but where you've got superstars that are swapping they go straight from WWE straight into AEW, and you've got the likes of Maro, which is Rusev. You've got Cody Rhodes, who's now back in WWE. You've got Dean Ambrose, who's looking at going back to WWE, and you know, and people like that.
I don't know if Dean Ambrose will. He burnt a lot of bridges when he left.
He did, but so did Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman's there. He's gone back. Triple H is bringing him back in. They burned the bridges with Vince.
I'd be happy to see him go back, to be honest with you, and probably smash the crap out of Roman Reigns, because I'm getting bored of that now.
Yeah. So, see you later, Cheryl. So, I know they're saying Tony Khan owns AEW, but I'm just wondering that there must be some link between the two companies, because that forbidden door is wide open at the moment, isn't it? You know, where you're not allowed to step through. When you had stars coming into the Royal Rumble from other companies, that's when you knew something was off.
Yeah.
You know. No, she's back there now, isn't she?
Yeah, Kathy keeps reminding us not to forget the meetup, mate.
No, I know, and we're not forgetting it, and I do post that on Instagram once a week. So, Movie Chats meetup the 25th of March in Chester. We're meeting up at 12:30 at the Square Bottle, which is the Weatherspoons, the one closest to the Primark. Not the one up the top end of town, not the what's it called now? The Bull Hotel, I think it is. The Bull and Stirrup, not that one. It's the other one. So yes, please do come to the meetup if you can get to Chester for the day. It'll be good to put some faces to names and come and have a chat in person as well. Little Steve, there is a CEX in Chester, so you should be okay doing a bit of shopping.
If anybody wants to meet up with me, I will be in CEX. You're quite welcome to join after I've raided it.
Yeah, so there's so we'll be all in there. Now, I know Junie is coming because she's booked a hotel room. Kathy and Lee are coming as well with Sherry, hopefully. Yeah, so please do come down to Chester and we'll sort something out. What's Tonk saying there about his subs?
I think he was. I think he's actually talking about. So he's talking to Alvin and Lindsay.
Oh, is he?
Alvin, yeah, because I'm like, oh yeah, cheers for that, mate. Yeah, you're doing great. Thanks for that. I don't think he's actually talking about us.
No, he's not. Yeah, we don't drive miles away.
No, it's fine, guys.
The reason why I've picked Chester is because Chester's on the end of a lot of the national rail lines, So depending on where you're coming from, you can always get to Chester from Warrington or from Crewe, and they're on the main line. So the train is probably your best bet. It would be good if you can. We'll probably do more at some point as well, but this is our first one where we're just testing the waters. We've been to a
we're
couple
going to
of
wait until about
resellers.
500 subs, aren't we, before we do a world tour? It's just too
Yeah.
much so far.
So we've been to a couple of the reseller meetups. Now Little Steve is going reselling as well. We can dip our toes in that arena as
Really?
well, can't we? You know, and yeah, it'll be good. We had lots of laughs. If you haven't gone back to have a look at the Liverpool meetup video, or there is just a short of Lana when we were on the Liverpool meetup. It was a great day. It was. So we thought, why not? We'll do it ourselves and see who turns up. If
If
not,
TX is any good, there'll be a live pickups of the week right going on right there.
yeah, we'll be streaming live from CS. If not, it'll just be about 10 of us having a good time and getting merrily drunk. So, you know, it'll all work out. Andrew Money Mental is going to be there as well, and he's always good for a bit of entertainment. So yeah, we'll just go from there. Right. The real fifth battle. I've been stuck on 156 now for 2 weeks. Get subbed. Come on, guys. Let's start building this movie-based community. Little Steve is going into reselling, aren't you, Stevie? You're going to actually start selling stuff instead of providing Chris with a stock.
Is this because Lou's had a conversation with Lana?
Yeah, that's how our lives roll, isn't it? Make the women decide what we do.
Listen, it did take me a second just to try and get my head around it, to be honest, as to what the hell you were on about. But yeah, I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea at this point, really. In fact, I'll ask your wife about that one.
Yeah, there you go. Meant to say we need to get people to sub to your channel. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Now we do have a lot of movie-based supporters and stuff like that, like AJ and Gareth and stuff like that, and we are branching out into this community. So please subscribe to the other people in the community as well. That some of their content is absolutely brilliant. What are you doing now? And for the movie people as well, the guys like Lindsay and Alvin and Carboot Chris and Channel and them, they've all got channels as well. So please subscribe to them. You've got some really good pickups videos that they do as well. So they do a lot of reselling. So you might be able to pick up pieces for collections and stuff like that there as well. So let's start building bridges across the two communities, and we'll go and get that sorted out. And hopefully we will see you all at the meetup. Now, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring the show to a close. Okay. It's getting on for 8:10. It's 9:10. So you know me, I turn into a pumpkin if I'm on too late. So we do like to put regular content out on the channel. So we have got a video coming out on Saturday and Tuesday this week. Little Steve, you've got anything coming out?
Not at the minute, but Little Un's off. Little Un's in school tomorrow, so I might try and film something. So yeah, hold that thought, because I might do soon.
Cool. I'd like to see an alphabetical release of your steel books. I take that as a no. And then we've got our live stream every Thursday night at 7:15 without fail. So as I said at the start of the show, thank you very much for your support. We have now hit the 400 subscribers, so we are moving in the right direction, which is brilliant. And thank you very much for that. And on that note, we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.